Can I beat Hollow Knight, but I can't use spells or my name? The only thing I can use is 3 spiders that follow me and don't do much damage. I don't know if this is possible, but let's give ourselves Weaversong and start from King's Pass. Let's do this. As you probably guessed, King's Pass was really easy. And when I went to Forgotten Crossroads, killing all the enemies was a breeze. The Weavelings didn't do much damage, but there was 3 of them, so it worked pretty well. And I thought ahead and planned on getting a Mast Shard. One of the Mast Shards I would get would be all the grubs, so I grabbed this one while I was here. And since I didn't have any soul, I quickly stopped at a hot spring before going into the Aspid Arena. Then I could get full health and full soul before going into it. And also, I should probably mention, I'm going for Grub Soul, which means the Weavelings will give me soul when they attack. That's also a reason why I got that grub earlier. Only 9 more and I'd be able to get Grub Soul. And after a while, I'd finally killed the Aspids, and now I could head for False Knight. And you're probably wondering why I'm actually going for it. Well, that's because I can't attack by Shade. This means I won't be able to do the Shade skip and need City Crest. I also did not expect how long this boss fight would take. The Weavelings were doing so little damage, so slowly, they ended up taking me exactly 4 minutes. And that is a very long time for False Knight. He got staggered so many times, and it was actually so annoying. I really hope bosses in the future won't be like this, but I guess we'll have to find out. I decided to get Vengeful Spirit simply because I knew I could use it, just not against any enemies. But to avoid killing the Elder Boulder, I did the bench glitch. I remembered about Grub Song, so I decided to grab a few grubs before going to Green. Now we were here, I had no idea how I was going to get past the Elder Boulder. The only thing I could do is hope that the Weavelings would attack it. And yes, they managed to attack it. I was so happy that they were able to do this, and a few more times of doing it, and I killed the Elder Boulder. Instead of fighting the enemies, I just jumped over them until I got to this part. I knew I wouldn't be able to do the Vengeful Spirit skip as I didn't have any soul. I also knew I wouldn't be able to do the Squid skip as well, I can't attack enemies, so I'm gonna have to go around the long way. I didn't exactly know how I was going to do the Moss Knight, but I found out soon enough. I wouldn't have to wake him and the Weavelings would just attack him. I thought this was a really good idea until he died. And since I hadn't activated him, I was now locked in. Luckily I could just save and quit to the bench and come back and everything was fine. Because this time I made sure to activate him before actually fighting him. This did mean it was a lot harder to kill him though. But when I got to Soap, it turns out he'd died. I didn't know this could happen. Was it because I took too long maybe? I'm not complaining. I was now at Hornet, and I knew this would be a really hard challenge. I'd finally beat Hornet with the total time of 2 minutes 30 seconds. But wait, what's she doing? If you subscribe to Masker, I'll release Silksong earlier? Oh my god, guys, subscribe to Masker now! Right, so I bought the Stag Station, and then I grabbed this grub next to the Moss Knight. Now I went to Crossroads, grabbed another grub, and now I was going to kill Grubsmother. Then I would save Sly and buy Shaman Stone from Saloon. Luckily Grubsmother was really easy, because she just slept there. That was all good until when I killed her, she exploded all these guys, and since the front door hadn't been locked, they all escaped. Though when I killed the rest of them, the door was still locked, so I just reloaded the area and it worked. Now I quickly saved Sly, and now I was going to head for Fungal Waste. Now I had Mantis Claw, I was going to head to City of Tears. The problem was I was on 2 masks, and soon that turned into 1, so I decided to let my Weavelings do everything for me. They were coming really in handy, they actually helped more than me attacking in this situation, so maybe it's actually a benefit. I knew I wouldn't have to go into Soul Sanctum and kill Soul Master, as I could easily beat the game without dive, but content. So I went for it anyways, and it didn't quite go as planned. I was taking a lot more damage than usual, simply because I couldn't pogo or attack any of the enemies, which made it a lot harder to avoid. Still though, like the god gamer I am, I managed to easily do it. Spell Twisters are hard enough, but with only Weaverlings, they were a lot harder. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. Soul Warrior was pretty easy and didn't take me too long. I just had to avoid his attacks like I have done with all the other bosses. And soon enough I was at Soul Master. This boss fight was hard. I died once, tried again, and died again. Then I realised that I don't even need Soul Warrior, I was just doing it for the content, so I'm gonna give up. So instead I'm gonna need to farm for Lumify Lantern. So let's get some relics. Let's also head to Grubfather and grab all the Geo. And since I'm now going for a Mars Shard, I'll also kill Brooding Morlek. This didn't take very long at all. And going to Grubfather reminded me of my goal, to get Weaversong. So I'm gonna go and grab this grub here. I'm also gonna grab this relic as well. After selling all my relics to Lem, I had enough for Lumify Lantern. So I quickly brought it along with gaining another mask and headed to Crystal Peaks. I knew there was no point in getting Descending Dark, as I couldn't use spells. I also knew there was no point in killing Crystal Guardian because you can completely skip him. The only thing I needed to get from Crystal Peaks was Crystal Dash, so I quickly headed for that. And now that I'd gotten Crystal Dash, all I needed was the Dreamer. But before, I quickly headed to Grubfather to grab Weaversong. And the first Dreamer I headed for was Monomon, so I just needed to do this acid skill. Wait a second, I don't have Dream Nail. I knew Umu was going to be really hard, so instead I decided to go for Watchers, since I was near there anyways, and they turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. Every time I took damage I just healed, and it was really simple. Then I decided to go for Hera as well, might as well, and I managed to do that pretty quickly as well. So now I've got 2 out of the 3 Dreamers. These 2 took me like 15 minutes in total, so I knew Monomon would be the hardest Dreamer to get. This took me a very long time, and although Umu was the hardest boss yet, patience was key, and eventually I did manage to defeat the boss. Now I've grabbed Monomon, the last boss left is the Hollow One. Let's do this. I had done it. I had beaten the Hollow Knight with only Weaversong. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to watch the whole of the Hollow Knight battle, the video will be on my second channel. And if you want to subscribe, please do. It helps me out a lot. Make sure to like the video as well. And also, if you want to speak to other Masker fans, join the Discord. The link will be in the description. Let me know what challenges you guys want to see me do in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye.